No doubt, the name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, be sure, and I mean just that, hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Don't have a lot of time with you guys today, but I got a meeting in about 20 minutes, so I want to get this topic out before I go into this meeting. A lot of people look at this team and see this team only as a team that's never going to grow. That's only going to be looking at this team from the lenses of not being 12-5, but they looking at this team being 5-12. And I get it. We looking back at the things that we had issues at on the offensive side of the coin. Even if you don't like Dak Prescott, you got to understand, can we improve in other categories? Can we improve on the offensive line? Can we improve in the wide receiver category? Can we improve with the running back? Even if Dak Prescott remains the same. And I know that's the part of the problem that a lot of people only going to look at Dak Prescott and say, hey, he's the reason why we can't win. Now, I look at the complete picture, right? Even if Dak Prescott be Dak Prescott, can we elevate Dak Prescott with, hear me out, a better running game approach, whether it be play action? Can we do things now that favors him versus things that take away from him? When you look back at this offense, we were a vertical spread offense, meaning everything is vertical, everything is come back. There's no deep crosses, there's no drags, there were no comfortable passes underneath so that your quarterback can get in rhythm, and not just your quarterback, also your running back, your wide receivers. So when you start introducing the West Coast, their principles and philosophies are more so 3-step drops, not that many 5, but you still have some of those things that you have to do in a game because it's game planning. Some teams just work well with other approaches to it, right? So you can't beat every team the same way. The great coaches understand that. They figure out ways, unique ways, to put their team in favorable situations. And the last 4 years, we can literally argue the last 15 years, if you contextualize it, we never had a situation where the coaching staff put our quarterbacks in favorable situations. Law, are there any truth to that? I don't recall a game that you even look back at Jason Garrett when we had Tony Romo, that he put the quarterback in favorable situations. So this has been an ongoing situation that now we paint everybody with the same brush. And we somehow, it's crazy that we kept the same personnel or personal belief system under Kellen Moore, because he learned the game from Scott Linehan and as well as Jason Garrett. So we saw some of the same things and we got mad about it, right? It's literally being mad if you stay in the desert and you're mad that it don't rain. It's literally if you stay in the rainforest and you're mad that it rain, right? Those are things that we have been thrusted upon. And I really appreciate you guys. So thank y'all. Shout out to you, King. Appreciate you for jumping in. Let me give the first person that was in here a shout out, man. Appreciate you, Michael. Thank you. Good morning to you. And the first people over here on my Facebook. Here we got James Brown, baby. James Brown, baby. What's good? Thank y'all too for being the first people over here, man. I thank y'all. Shout out to you, Sadiq. Thank you for your support yesterday. I didn't get a chance to read your super chat. I really thank you for your support, and I really, really appreciate you and all what you guys bring to the table. Shout out to you, Natasha. Salute to you. She's a real one, y'all. She's a real one. All right, so this was a topic line that was brought up by I think it was the Blogging the Boys. Let me see if I can bring them up now, and I appreciate you guys so much. Let me see if I can present this, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in for this. We're going to talk about this, and they brought some good points with this. 4 areas of the Cowboys offense Mike can improve from Kellen Moore. And shout out to Starbucks, man, one of the best coffees in town. You know what I mean? All right. So one of the topic pieces was play action in motion under Kellen Moore. Play action. We were in 2019 7th ranked, in 2020 12th, and in 2021 we was 14th. In 2022 we were 13th. That's kind of like in the last 3 years we middle of the pack. We did better in 2019. Motion ranks. That's like motion right before the snap, and you guys can see we deviated from that from these last 3 years. 18th in 2021 and also 17th in 2022. Motion at the snap. You see how we were ranked. We were dead last. Well, bottom end in 2021 and 16. Just past this past last year. What I'm saying, these are facts right here. I want to confuse the opposition. I want to give them a little play action because Dak Prescott, while in play action, is one of your better quarterbacks in the National Football League. So what I'm trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is put things favorable for my quarterback, meaning that, hey, if I want to establish the run, remember what we've been saying about the play action groove. Let's get Dak Prescott under center. Let's continue to run the rock so that we can be better, and this will alleviate defensive backs from sitting on routes. Show of hands in the chat who is familiar with DB sitting on routes. And of course, news just broke right before I hit that live button, right before I hit that red button, that Mike McCarthy will be calling the plays for the 2023 season. You know, let me see. Jason Horn, appreciate it. Kellen Moore is now offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Yes. I think we all know that, Jason. You know, he's late to the party, but shout out to you, man. We still accept you here at the party. It's my guy, Small. You know, appreciate you. So, is the audio muffled? Is the audio straight? I didn't get a chance to do audio. We doing audio through StreamYard. So y'all let me know if my audio is straight. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me correctly. You know, give me a thumbs up. 100% right. Iceberg, my dog, Slim, man. Appreciate you, man. Let me give him a horn. So what I'm trying to say is audio is good. Appreciate you, man. All right. So what I'm trying to say is collectively, play actions and motions under Kellen Moore been subpar. I want to do things that favor my quarterback, not do things to take away. And I'm not saying that Kellen Moore said, okay, let's try to lose games. Let's figure out how to worsen Dak Prescott. I'm not crass. I'm not saying that. That would be crazy to think or to have that notion or ideal to say, yeah, I want to lose games, right? He's trying to build his resume. He's trying to make sure that everything is great so that we can win games. But there are some times when you have lack of experiences, and I know that this will sound like bevies of excuses, but these are facts. When you have lack of experiences and you don't know how to ride the horse, you will fall off the horse. You won't know how to tame the horse, or you will start be damning the horse. You probably like, hey, I can't stand that horse. There's a lot of people that don't know how to put the saddle on the horse, right? The bit in the mouth. But they look at it and say it's easy to do. But until you get on that horse, and there's levels to this for the people that's from the country like me, who know how to bareback a horse, you know, that's without a saddle, you know, there's different levels to the experiences. But what I'm saying is at some time, when you have the levels of experiences, it doesn't matter. A horse is a horse. You can bareback it. You can ride it with the saddle. It doesn't matter. Now, I should have used the car analogy with the stick shift because a lot of people are not from the country like me, but neither here nor there. Dak Prescott on play actions, and we can see the levels of touchdowns to interceptions ratio here. And they was going over this. They gave us the passer ratings or what have you. It was at his all-time high his rookie year, 124. We see some drop-offs from here, but still 104, 104, 103, you can't argue that. 113, you can't argue that. So what they're saying is, okay, if you are right here, ladies and gentlemen, when there's play actions called upon you, then why stop doing it? As the old folks say, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Let's continue to do things. Let's continue to do things that benefit us, right? Work out three days a week. You see some improvement. Work out 4 days a week. You see some improvement, right? You want to stay in that area. Work out 1 day a week. You see no improvement. Well, 9 times out of 10, at least the minimum is to work out at least 3 days out of a week. But some people will work out 1 day out of a week and they look on the scale and they get mad at the scale. They say, how dare you, scale? How dare you say that I'm 230 pounds or I'm 320 pounds when I worked out? But how many days a week you were working out? Those are things that's natural to life that we got to contextualize with this team. If play action worked, then let's figure out how to get back to play action, right? If 14 and 13 personnel worked, let's figure out ways to continue to do such. Not show it one time and say, hey, it worked and let's stop it. No, the levels of consistency is doing it over and over again so that you can receive or achieve your results, right? And that's why I said before, when we talk about the race is not to the swift nor the battle to the mighty, it's to he that endure to the end, is meaning that it's your consistent game plan. The man that walked 1,000 miles began with 1 step. It's the steps that he admitted to take. But if he didn't choose to take the 1 step, then it would never happen. Hey, man, how dare you be on 1,000 miles right now, right? How did you get there? I took 1 step. Newsflash. You won't get there without the steps. You got to establish the levels of consistency, and that's what I'm trying to showcase to you guys. Marcio Rodriguez also says another positive point about Mike McCarthy play callings, and then you can look into this chart line right here. And it's too tiny for me to read, unfortunately. But you guys got to go to his Facebook page and check him out. But he was talking about Mike McCarthy tenure as a play caller for the Packers is an ideal from 2010 through 2018, which includes the 2015 season. Mike McCarthy wasn't calling plays. The Packers led the NFL in early down pass rates, as well as it was no coincidence, you know what I'm saying, that they had Aaron Rodgers there, on early downs during that span. But the offense the entirety of the offense played on every down over that time, had higher rates or what have you, and I'm paraphrasing. So what I'm trying to say here is, of course, do we have an Aaron Rodgers? No. We don't. I'll be foolish to say that, but we do have a Dak Prescott, and we do have the ability to add more and more weapons around said quarterback and put things in favorable situations for that quarterback. And how do that be accomplished? By establishing levels of consistency. Sometimes in a game, and you look back at it, it's not all the time that you have to rely on, hear me out, passing the ball. Sometimes some games you got to run the rock. Sometimes you got to pass the ball. Sometimes you got to utilize both. Look, the 49ers last season finished the season 4th ranked in offense. Along that stretch, they were ranked 2nd and 3rd. They was down to their 4th quarterback or 3rd quarterback, basically, or 4th, whichever. I forgot to stop counting over there. But what I'm saying is, when you have a scheme and you put that scheme to work, everything else will work its way out. Now, granted, their time ran up, and of course, their quarterback, Brock Purdy, got knocked out against the Eagles. But even if you look at the Eagles and how they approached this year, they said, okay, what will be our identity? What do we do best, right? And I'm using the word we casually because it's the Eagles, for crying out loud. Look, play the fields, play strong defense, put things in favorable situation. We're witnessing right now the Eagles going to the Super Bowl without their star-studded quarterback passing one touchdown. One touchdown. I don't think he passed a single touchdown, right? But they leaned on their philosophy in order to achieve the total goal to get to the Super Bowl. And now there's a 50-50 chance for them. Be ready for offensive stats to go down. It's about winning. This is Sam Park. Or who knows? Who knows? It could remain the same. Because what we're trying to do here is look at the total picture and say, okay, what are the things you do well at? What are the things you do bad at? What are the things that cost you games? Okay, INTs. All right. Separation from wide receivers to the defensive back, right? Those are things that cost you games, throwing into tight window spaces. What if I remove the tight window spaces now from you? What if we take that away from you? What if we, and I know what if is a big word, we add more and more talent around you instead of taking away? Those things increases productivity. You know, there was a time when, since I'm speaking about horses, right? There was a time that, hey, you want to go to the store? Get on the horse. Get there. Yeah, get on there. Yeah. And then someone said, you know what? We got the automobile, right? That increases everything. Now you are able to travel more. Horses, horsepower, all of that stuff gives out. But the machine is automatic. So when you have something that's more tangible like a machine, everything else works its way out better. That's the reality of it. And I appreciate you for your super chat. FB is more athletic lineman. He takes the first hit in the hole. Better blitz pickup. Keep your running backs from getting hit so much. Oh, you're talking about fullback. You're talking about a fullback, right? Fullback is more athletic lineman that takes the first hit. Now I can read it a whole lot different. Yeah. Fullback game. I think that the Packers did have a big boy as a fullback, right? And you look at what the 49ers had, they had a big fullback, right? So we can look back at fullbacks. They are a dying breed. I think that you got so much hybrid looks now. The tight end is the extension of an offensive lineman, and you can get a serviceable tight end to do some of the things that a fullback can do. And then right before snap, you can motion him into the flats there, and it could be so many things dangerous you can do with an athletic tight end versus a fullback. Fullbacks now, your modern day fullbacks are trained to be linebackers, basically, because they see that's a dying breed. So majority of the time, the modern day fullbacks are your linebackers, right? We had a guy that was converted from a linebacker to a fullback. I think his name was Keith. What was his name? Keith Smith. So, you know, I seen that before. It's just a dying breed right now. Just like technically, some left tackles, if they're athletic enough, they go ahead and say, all right, run some routes for me. We need for you to be a tight end, right? So those are things that we all have to consider as we look at this hybrid league. When I go live for a longer stay, we will break down what Michael Parsons had to say about the Eagles and him rooting for them to win the Super Bowl or what have you. I know he's from PA, so he's built different. He's only 23 years of age, so he wasn't alive when Michael Irvin was motionless on the ground in Eagles land and they was cheering. He wasn't alive during the Bounty Bowl. So there are some things that Michael Parsons don't know. And we can't nail him to the cross of it. But one thing we can say, and I don't care if he is Michael Parsons, I don't care if he's Deion Prime Time. on this team. I just want the man to stop tweeting, and he ain't going to stop it. These new millenniums, they're going to tweet. This is a whole new world, right? But at some point, somebody going to have to change his password. He try to get on Twitter and he can't get on, or at least Michael Parsons, create you one of those ghost accounts and talk about whatever you want to talk. But this is a free world, right? People going to do what they want to do. But I'm going to talk about that when I have enough time and when we have call-ins and things like that. But I really would like the West Coast offense here in Dallas because of the fact that they get the ball out quick. Regardless, it's just a progressions of one read. Sometimes it's not a multiple read, not 3 or 4 reads. And on top of that, it can create lanes and alleyways for your running back. On top of that, with West Coast, what we're going to do here under Mike McCarthy is it's a hybrid West Coast scheme because West Coast has really not ran under shotgun, but Mike McCarthy liked to throw in the shotgun West Coast situation. Opinions. This is from my guy Wyatt. I got literally 4 more minutes and I'll cut it off at 12:20. He says opinions on Odell Beckham Jr. I saw him cut the other day. He got a little speed. Now I didn't see him get hit yet. He was on the soccer field and he said, yeah. And he got up out of there. I said, yeah, that's how you want to crawl into your route and then explode at the top of your route. Right. And we see that the explosions at the top of the route. But I promise you, man, even at my age, with a little camera trick, you guys can look at me and say, man, that dude kind of explosive, until, I can run good routes until I get hit, You know how it goes, y'all. Y'all know how that goes. I run some good routes until I get hit, and I'm like, which one of y'all hit me? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that off of Rush Hour? Which one of y'all hit me? That's how I would be. But that's just what it is. I like your name. Crunchy Napkin says Dak ain't it. Well, at this point, and I feel you, Crunchy Napkin. And we got a couple more minutes. What would be your solution, right? I need to know your solution. Because we got to figure out the solution. We got 2 more years with him. And if he and the Cowboys, just be mindful, Crunchy Napkin. The Cowboys breaking news that they may restructure Dak Prescott contract. Remember, they got 2 voidable years at the end of his contract, so you can slide some money out for there. It's like a balloon, upside down balloon rate. So when the pressure's there, you squeeze a little bit out for the other side of it, right? So those are ways that we will have to look at that. That is a funny name, though, Crunchy Napkin. That is a funny name. My girl Hope says Dak is our QB1. At the time, he's QB1. And I'm with the belief. I agree with you, Hope, and I agree with Crunchy Napkin to a degree. If he's not it, from the front office perspective, which I believe that even I got a message from Jerry Wayne that said that, hey, he believed that Dak will be the long-term quarterback, right? But I do believe that if you're feeling a little reservation about your quarterback, then the draft is right around the corner. Draft the quarterback every year. Leave no stone unturned. Make sure that the bed that Dak Prescott sleep on, whatever his sleep number is turned all the way up because he won't feel comfortable, right? Put the extra pressure on him. Man, he be looking over to the sideline. Man, that dude missing that ball over there. I can't miss no days off. I believe iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. So make the terrain even rougher for him. I think what really hurt the Cowboys, in my opinion, was the fact that the Cowboys made it comfortable for him by allowing to agree with him when he lobbied to keep Kellen Moore. And it could have been a situation that the Jones family argued that with Mike McCarthy, and we would talk more about that. when I go live for a longer time. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. One love to you guys. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. This was a quickie. I know 24 to 25 minutes. They can be like, look, Law, normally you go live for 3 hours, man. We can't deal with only 25, baby. But this is how the time go. I'm stretched thin. We got a lot of things to uncover over here. Shout out to y'all. One love. Y'all already know. DC for life. Be sure. Do me a huge favor. Smash the like button. Share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Salute. Come on. Yo. Hey.